Welcome to our discussion today. My name is Robin Horton, and today we're going to explore about oral language and an information-rich environment and how they can supercharge reading and writing skills. Let's begin by understanding the connection between oral language, reading, and writing. So, for example, oral language is the cornerstone of literacy. So, when students engage in meaningful conversations, they build essential skills like vocabulary, comprehension, and syntax. These skills directly influence their reading and writing abilities. Now, let's dive into 5 ways which we can leverage oral language within the information intensive environment to nurture literacy. Number 1, that they're exploring by voicing their thoughts and opinions. They not only enhance their oral language skills, but also improve on comprehension and critical thinking. Discussion and debate even improves on social skills. It's allowing students to be able to interact with each other and understand that their thoughts matter too within this learning environment, within the community that they're within. So let's talk about oral storytelling. So incorporating all opportunities for students to share interpretations of stories, articles, or research findings orally. Storytelling helps them to internalize narrative structures, lengthening their abilities to create compelling written narratives. If a child understands and can comprehend a story, then their imagination will go wild. Maybe they'll start to think of other parts of the stories. Maybe they'll be able to picture read more critically and see more detail within the pictures. Students might even decide to start thinking of different ways to tell the story through song or through games, because that's how engrossed that they could be within the story. Now, let's move on to vocabulary development. Create a word-rich environment. So by introducing new vocabulary during discussions and reading activities, encourage students to use these words in context, both verbally and in their writing. This fosters a deeper understanding of language and concepts. So I like to do this with synonyms and antonyms. For example, I like to throw a word up on the board when I'm doing a language arts class and try to ask students, how many synonyms do you know for this word? Trying to really engage their vocabulary development, trying to learn amongst themselves. Sometimes students already have the vocabulary, however, the definition that they have doesn't quite match up. So doing an activity like this, where you can just throw a word up on the whiteboard and get them to work in groups to think about synonyms and antonyms, or even they can use a Padlet and they can research together. This is something that I did in my class last week, and it worked tremendously. The kids loved it, and they learned a whole bunch of new words that all had similar meanings. Now, let's move on to peer collaboration. So, like I said before, this is something that I've done within my class. Foster collaborative projects that require students to communicate and work together. Group activities, debates, presentations, they don't just boost oral language skills and encourage students to co-author written materials, but it really helps them to even look at their writing and editing skills in the process. I really love getting kids to check their work together. They're not judging each other's works when they're doing this. They're being able to say, look, I can be the teacher, I can help too. Like, I understand this enough that I can teach it. Being able to teach or be able to work together shows how much understanding that you have within the topic. I really enjoy when my students, they work together in groups and they tell me the answer, or they give me other questions which maybe I don't have the answer to, and that's okay, because when they're in this learning environment, they're not just learning from me, they're learning from each other, they're learning from the things around them. They can pick books, they can pick the internet, they can pick the teacher, they can pick each other, because as a community, in a worldly community, this is actually what we do to learn new things. Anyway, let's move on to the next one, inquiry-based learning. Embracing inquiry-based learning is where students explore topics of interest through research and investigation. Oral presentations of findings and subsequent Writing of reports or essays consolidate their understanding and transfer oral language skills to effective written communication. So with inquiry-based learning, I just love being able to hand it over to the kids and just to the students and say to them, tell me, what do you want to learn? Tell me, what do you want to learn about? Trying to spark that inspiration, because when people learn the best, it's when they're inspired, when they're motivated, when they want to find out the reasons for the answers of the things that they are really interested in. As a language teacher, as an English language teacher, as long as they're using language, as long as they're using English, I just want them to be inspired. It's my second rule within the class. As long as that's something that I really strongly believe that we should really encourage children to and students to just enjoy and embrace learning and enjoy that process. So, in conclusion, the relationship between oral language and the development of reading and writing skills is incredibly strong. By cultivating this rich oral language environment within an informational intensive classroom, we empower students to become proficient readers and writers. One point that I want to really hone in on here is, before, when I taught maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I would the teach the bare backbone of what they need. Oh, so you need to know the weather today. That's what I'm going to teach you. Without giving the kids and the students the area of exploration, they felt bored. It didn't matter how many times I told them vocabulary words or just gave them the vocabulary, learn this: sunny, 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 today is sunny, without exploring about seasons, environment, about how they feel in the summer. You just engage so much learning within that process. Even the fact that they can be emotionally responsible at such a young age. Oh, it's sunny today. I feel happy on a sunny day. This is something that they could truly use personally within their life as they grow and as they explore how the world works around them. We all need connections for things, and that is something that I truly believe that in order to teach reading and writing and speaking, you need to have them all together. And you need to have them all together, and you need to be able to explore how things can take its lead and let the children learn what they want to learn. Anyway, thank you so much for watching my video today, and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye-bye.